Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cemetery Mary. In the last episode, so much happened. There was a killer, our parents were taken, our aunt and uncle were murdered, our cousin is like MIA half the day. So much happened. But anyway, let's jump back in. After I got out of bed, I made myself a small breakfast and got changed into my favorite outfit. Okay. Croven's gone, and the bus I take out into town should be arriving any minute now. Where should I go today? Let's go to the cemetery. I went to my favorite place, the cemetery. The cemetery is pretty much on the same block as my family's restaurant. Right next to it, in fact. All you have to do is cross the street. It's on the same side of the road. I think my parents chose this location because it's good for business. That's what Mom told me anyways. People are usually hungry after a funeral. Crying really takes a lot out of you after all. I was always glad to live there because I really love visiting the cemetery. I like to walk down the rows to see who got flowers that day. That's what I do most days. Sometimes I pick my own flowers just to leave on the graves that look like they've been forgotten about. I'm actually quite known for the cemetery. Some people have even begun to use a nickname for me. Though, I don't know how many of them even know what I look like. When I arrived at the cemetery gates, however, I was surprised to see Croven standing there with what looked like a new friend. Croven? Mary? Did you follow me? Huh? No, I didn't. You know I always come here. Yeah, but that's usually not until later. Why are you here so early? I mean, it's not as if I had anything better to do. Well, do you have to be here right now? I'm kind of on a date. Oh, this is a date? I mean, it can be, if you want to be. I'll think about it. Who's your friend? This is Vasilis? I met him at the arcade. Yo. Sorry, Mary, but can you please go? I really just don't have the energy for this right now. Yeah, okay. Sorry. I didn't mean to intrude. I'll see you later. Later. See you in some other life, Mary. Well, yikes. Okay. I left Croven alone. I didn't want to interrupt his little date or whatever. I especially didn't want to make him more mad at me. However, I wasn't going to let him stop me from going in the cemetery. I continued on past the gates and stepped inside. It seemed emptier than usual. It didn't look like any funerals were being held today. Would it be mean of me to wish there was? Yeah, it probably would be. Forget I said anything like that. It was a really awful thing to say. When nighttime rolled around, I headed back home. I slipped into my pajamas and headed to bed almost immediately. Of course, though, I couldn't sleep right away. I had someone I needed to talk to first. Good evening again. Good evening. May I ask you something? You always do. How do you know my name is Mary? I've always known. Huh? I've always known what your name is. Have we met before? If we did, you probably wouldn't remember. If? So we didn't meet. Take the if as a maybe. We may have met before, but would it make any difference if you didn't remember me? It would be as if we were meeting for the first time. That's weird. I'm uncomfortable. Any updates on my parents? They are fine. Will I ever see them again? Yes, because I'm coming to get you too. I just need more time. Good night, Mary. Ooh, okay. Plot thickens. I went to sleep feeling pretty shaken that night. I try not to think about it. I'm surprised I was able to get any sleep at all. I'm surprised I didn't have any nightmares either. Uncle Cross? Yeah, Mary? Uncle Cross, can I ask you a question? Sure thing, kiddo. Shoot. How did you lose your eye? Mary. It's fine. I don't mind. I lost my eye in war. You were in war, Uncle Cross? I was. I won't get into the specifics of it, but it was important to me that I protect my family in any way I could. Do you miss it? My eyeball? Yeah. You know something? Not as much as I thought I would. I think I would miss you bunch a lot more. No. That was a sweet memory. After I got out of bed, I made myself a small breakfast. Okay, where do we go today? Let's go to the library. We haven't gone to the library yet. I decided to go to the library. There's nothing quite like a good book. My favorite kind of books are mysteries. Not necessarily murder mysteries, but mysteries in general. In fact, I kind of prefer it when the mysteries don't involve anyone dying. There's a lot less tension there, you know? But maybe I'm just too soft. I also quite enjoy manga. Hell yeah! I especially the shoujo kind. I feel almost embarrassed to like them, but I find that they're cute and nice, and I like seeing characters fall in love. Yeah, a shoujo. Maybe that's what I'll try to find at the library today. I stepped into the library and began to make my way over to my favorite spot, a tucked away corner in the library, right by a single window. Sometimes I'd spend an entire day in that corner just reading. I'd even managed to finish entire books without leaving the library. I looked forward to doing something like that again today, but when I got to my favorite spot, I noticed a man was already sitting there. I was surprised because usually this library was pretty empty. But this man, he's familiar. I've met him before. Oh, my apologies. Did I take your seat? Oh, it's you, Mary. Mary Anta, right? Yes? That's right. I remember you. From the funeral, right? Indeed. Do you remember my name? Reginald? That's right! It's a pleasure to see you here. I was hoping I'd run into you again one day. Oh? I hope that doesn't come off weird. You were just such a pleasant person to be around. You really brought life into that funeral. Really? Thank you, I think. So, what brings you to the library today? Oh, well, I didn't really have any plans, so I thought I'd just check out a book or something. Likewise. What kind of book were you interested in checking out? Be honest, shoujo. I'm actually here to look for shoujo manga. Shoujo manga? What's that? It's like, do you know what manga is? I have an idea, but I can't say I've ever read one myself. Well, it's like one of those, but usually the centers around the romance between the two main characters, and sometimes there's like a friend or rival. But I really like the comedy ones, because you get cute jokes mixed into the romance. But sometimes the drama ones are really cute too, and they can get really intense. And, sorry, I'm rambling. I'm not good at explaining things. No worries, I think you did a good job. A shoujo. Sounds interesting. Perhaps I'll check one out myself later. I'm trying to be more open to new things after all. Anyways, what are you here to read? Me? I'm reading Manslaughter on the Disorient Locomotive. I've been meaning to read that one too. Do you want it then? What? Oh, no, it's okay. Please, take your time. Just, if you wouldn't mind, would you tell me when you're done with it? You know, so I could maybe read it after? I'm fine with that. No, I've already gotten pretty far in it, and I don't think I'll be finished by today. You have a cell phone, yes? But it'd be alright if I have your number. That way I can notify you as soon as I'm finished. And, well, I'd like to try and be friends too, if that's alright. Oh, really? I mean, yeah, of course. Another friend? Wow. Reginald and I exchanged phone numbers. I was shocked he even remembered me, but I considered meeting him again. A pleasant surprise. and one I really appreciated. After our exchange, I picked out a shoujo book from one of the shelves and began to read in one of the other spots in the library. I ended up liking it so much, I looked for the other books and brought 2 or 3 home with me to read later. Wow. After I came home, had dinner, and cleaned the kitchen up, I began my usual nighttime routine. I got changed in pajamas, brushed my teeth, sat on my bed, and texted whoever they are. Hi, me again. Are you there? Yes. You're still not going to tell me anything, are you? Nope. Can I ask you something even if you won't give me an honest answer anyways? Okay. Are you the Blackwood Butcher? Would I tell you if I was? Are you afraid for their safety? Of course, why wouldn't I be? I see. Why do you have them? I wouldn't put it like that. I don't own them, after all. Even if they are in my keeping for now. You're way too vague. Why do you even contact me to begin with? I thought you'd like to know about your parents. I'm only trying my best to keep you happy. You think I'm happy? Maybe not now, but you will be. I have to go now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, yikes. After another frustrating and unsettling night of text messages, I got under the covers and tried my best to sleep. It wasn't easy, and I had a lot of difficulty trying. I don't remember exactly when, but eventually I was able to sleep, even if not peacefully. Dad? Yes, sweetheart. Yes? Is something wrong? Mama told me that Uncle Ray died. Did she now? Are we going to go see him? No. You don't need to worry about that. I don't? But, listen, Mary. Normally when someone passes, you hold a funeral for them, right? Yeah. The thing about funerals, though, is that they're for people who are worth remembering. Jeez. Yikes. I don't like that. I woke up late the next morning. I must have been pretty tired after the last few days. I dragged myself out of bed and followed my normal morning routine. And of course, Croven was once again nowhere to be seen. However, when I checked my phone that morning, I realized he had sent me a message. To my surprise, there were other messages there as well from my new friends. Who should I read first? Oh, cute! Hey, Mary. I'm sorry. I know I've been acting pretty nasty to you lately. I hope you know I don't mean it. Have you been to the Planet Dollars yet? I'll be headed there for lunch today. Maybe at like 12:30? You should come and have lunch with me, my treat. Aw, that's nice. Aw, I hope we're okay. And then I can like formally apologize or whatever. Yes. Twyla. Mary, it's Twyla. If you're still interested in helping me, I'll be at the library around noon today. Oh. Should be quieter there. And there's some books I want to pick up for research purposes. Meet me there if you can, but if not, I'll just call you up another time. Ooh, darn. Good morning, Miss Marianta. I hope you're doing well today. You had asked about that book the other... You had asked about that book the other day, right? Well, I actually finished it quicker than I expected to. I'd really love to give it to you, but I won't be at the library today. I'm actually going to be at the cemetery. You like that place though, right? You should come see me, then I can pass the book over to you. I'll be at there quarter afternoon. Okay. Yikes. They're like all at the same time. Twyla's at the library at noon. Reginald is at the cemetery 12:15, and then Croven's gonna be at the cafe at 12:30. Oh god, we're gonna have to choose. I think I want Croven. Family first. And besides, you don't know the other two well enough, right? So then maybe after we can grab lunch or something together. I hope that doesn't come off weird. I just like some company for my lunch break. Call me back. Exit phone. I was messaged by each of them. However, I think I only have time to meet up with one of them today. Where should I go today then? The cafe. It was a tough choice, but I had to choose one of them. I told the others I had plans and that I'd have to meet with them some other time. Then, when noon rolled around, I headed to my destination. I spotted Kroven pretty quickly. Dressing the way we do, it wasn't that hard. I'd recognize those red and black striped sleeves from a mile away. When Kroven saw me, he gave me a hug. Aw, and it made me realize how long it's been since he last hugged me. His arms felt relaxed, and he was wearing his classic smile. For a moment, it looked as if he was back to his normal old self. We had lunch together, and like he had promised, it was his treat. Aww. Oh my god, I didn't read his thing. So, you definitely dabbed? Of course I did. You know, I had to do it to them. Yeah, that's so you. I know, right? I thought about mentioning how happy I was that he was starting to feel alright, but I was worried that bringing it up, he might be upset again. So I just kept the conversation going. Smart. Good. There was no reason to bring it up anyways. So, would you consider it a successful date? Oh yeah, totally. I mean, they looked ready to kill me by the end of it, but in the fun way, you know? Kinda like how my mom and dad, how my mom looks at my dad, when he makes a bad pun? Exactly! I'm so happy for you. Do you think he'll take them out again? Maybe. Wow. Going on a date sounds fun. Aw, don't worry, Mars. Someone will take you out too, one day. So anyways, do you like it here? The Planet Dollars, I mean. I always thought it was overhyped, but now that we have one, it actually ain't too shabby. Oh, actually, I've been here before. Oh, you have? Oh no. When? Oh, I was here just the other day because I wanted to check it out. Funnily enough, we sat at this table too. Oh, you did? Wait, who was we? Did you suddenly make friends behind my back? Huh? Oh, when I was here, the place was pretty packed, so the only empty seat was at this table. But some other girl was sitting here too, and I guess we're like kind of friends now? I mean, I just met her, but we're keeping in contact, so her name's Twyla. Twyla? Yeah? Is there a problem with that? Mary, listen to me. I'm saying this because I care about you. Stay away from Twyla. Huh? Why? You just can't talk to her, okay? I can't... Of all the people, you had to talk to her? She's the kind of girl who'd stab the devil in the ass with his own pitchfork. Seriously, you shouldn't be talking to her. Do you know her? Did something happen between you two? You've never mentioned her before, and... Mary, please. I know I'm coming off really bad right now, and you probably think I'm a gigantic dick. But just don't talk to her. You just can't. If she's that bad, I'll watch my back. I already promised to help her with some stuff, but I trust your reasons for disliking her, even if I don't know what they are. I think it's a little late to back out of the arrangement, but I'll definitely take what you said to heart. I'll be careful. Good, you should be. Come on, let's go throw our trash out. Oh boy. Kroven was still very salty over Twilight, even after I had attempted to drop the conversation. He said he wouldn't talk about it anymore, but I better not ever mention him to Twyla. Ever. We tried to spend the rest of the day together, but it was more than apparent he wasn't in a good mood anymore. At least by the time we started heading home, he had calmed down to a much more normal state. After getting home, he said he was going to smoke outside for a little bit, so I let him and headed up to bed and did what I do every night. Hi. Hello. Can we talk about the thing you said the other night? I haven't been able to stop thinking about it ever since you said it. What's bothering you? You said you were coming for me? That you just needed more time? Are you really going to steal me too? It'll be alright, I promise. It's for the best. You're gonna make me feel sick all over again. What do you want me to tell you? The truth? Who you really are. Is that really what you want? You'll see me soon, but you shouldn't worry about it. It will happen when it happens. This is for the best, even if you can't see that right now. Even if you can't ever. When will this be over? Soon, hopefully. I just need more time. You'll hang on for me, won't you? Do I have a choice? Sweet dreams, Mary. Yikes. I didn't sleep at all that night. I really didn't. There were a few times I shut my eyes and tried to, but nothing could calm me down anymore at this point. My anxiety was through the roof. I just wanted Mom and Dad back. I wanted to know for certain that they were okay. It should have been me that was taken. Maybe it was supposed to be. The next morning when I got up, Kroven was still home. Oh, he seemed to be acting pretty normal for once. At the very least, not agitated. But despite this, I didn't sit and have breakfast with him. I wasn't in the mood to really talk to anyone. Not right now. Not after last night. It was too much. I just wanted some private time to myself. I just wanted to cool down. As I was about to leave, Crow called out to me. Not eating breakfast, Mars? I responded. Not today, I'm not hungry. He responded with a simple okay, and after that, I was out the door. I just wanted to go to that place and not be bothered. On the bus ride there, all three of them texted me again. Kroven said he noticed I left pretty quickly and hoped I wasn't upset with him for his behavior lately. Twyla talked about some of her progress on her research, and Reginald said he'd be at the cemetery again today. Although I appreciated their messages, I really just needed to be alone. I needed to go back there and just relax. No, that's not the right word. I wasn't going there to relax. I was going there to mourn. The Dine read, It's where I grew up. I lived my whole life in this diner. Restaurant? Bistro? I never know the right word for places like this. We always had such silly names for it since it was next to the cemetery. The Restaurant in Peace, sometimes the Diner, even just simply Dine Dead. I always wondered if the others caught on. You probably wouldn't know just from looking at it, but there's 2 floors. The bottom floor is the diner itself. I've eaten there for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, sometimes all on the same day. The top floor is more like a house, our house. There's bedrooms and a bathroom and even a small living space with a TV. It can be a little cramped sometimes, but it's cozy. No one could get up there but me and my parents, of course. The upstairs is locked. You need a key, which I have, of course. After Mom and Dad went missing, the authorities locked this place up and it's been locked ever since. They don't want anyone going in there, not even me, because, I don't know, it's kind of like a crime scene or something. But I still have the key for the front, too. It's my house, after all. I carefully scanned the area around me as I stood in the parking lot. There were a few cars that passed by, and maybe a person or 2 on the sidewalk, but no one really seemed to pay me any mind. It was still a bit early in the morning, so it wasn't surprising to see a few people out. I looked over my shoulder a few more times to make sure no one was watching me. Then I stepped up to the front door, unlocked it, and took a step inside, closing the door carefully behind me. Is that a good idea? When I stepped inside, I was instantly hit with a wave of different kinds of emotion. I had been avoiding the diner for a long time because whenever I passed it, I would just think of Mom and Dad and feel sad. But now, stepping aside, it felt nice. At least a little bit. Just being able to be in my own house after so long. It was bittersweet. On one hand, I felt so happy to just be home. Everything was just as I had left it. The light still entered through the windows the same way it always did. It still smelled faintly of delicious food, even though the kitchen hasn't been used in a while. Even Mom's special boards was in the same spot, but it felt so empty, so desolate, so abandoned. There wasn't even any electricity here. The place was hardly ever empty. We always had customers, and the diner always did well. There was hardly a moment where I'd come downstairs and only see Mom and Dad. There was always people, even if just one person was here. The counter would be full of coffee drinkers at night and in the mornings. I'd see families come by for dinner or people out on dates come here. I always loved being able to see that. There were so many good memories in this place, like Halloween party. It was more like a trunk or treat kind of thing. We had a bunch of cars lined up in our parking lot giving out candy, and there were a few games to play. I remember Mom helping me put together a little Grim Reaper costume. It was a rare instance where I actually got along with other kids, and even was able to see them considering I was homeschooled. I remember Croven being there too. He was dressed like a zombie, though his makeup was completely ruined when he tried to go bobbing for apples. Bobbing for apples. That's so gross. Who even came up with that? I don't think I could even imagine doing it today, but it seemed fun as a kid, I guess, even though I never did it, so I probably thought it was gross back then too, I guess. I remember Croven got to sleep over afterwards too, and Mom and Dad kept the Halloween decorations up all day the next day. It's funny, I use some of those decorations in my room now, but I remember all the booths and tables and windows being absolutely covered in orange and black streamers. But now it is all covered in dust, and no one's here. Where should I go? I think I'm going to leave this episode off here. It's a lot of talking, but oh boy. Croven doesn't like Twyla. Twyla has more research. I don't really trust Reginald. There's an instinct in me just not trusting him. And oh my goodness gracious. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.